Okay, are we live? I think we are live. Hopefully we are. Hopefully we're live. What's going on out there in the land of the unfree America? Welcome everybody to another rendition of Delete Lawz. My name is ChilleDeCastro. I am the host of this channel. I'm not even sure if this is broadcasting or not. Maybe it'll take a second, but really, I'm down here in downtown Las Vegas. I'm outside of my attorney's office, the Liberator law firm here in Las Vegas, and we have federal trial comes on Monday. So now, what I want to talk about a little bit today is what exactly are the implications of this case? What exactly happens when I have federal trial and I was arrested for filming police on the street? What exactly does that mean? What exactly? Why does it matter? Why is it important? What can happen from this? What's the good part? What's the bad part? And I don't think a lot of people really understand the implications of what this trial in Nevada means. So back on March 15th, 2023, I saw a cop who had somebody pulled over in a parking lot. And so what I did was, Jersey One's in the room. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys. Double tap, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. On March 15th, 2023, I was driving through a parking lot, a great big parking lot with a bunch of stores, you know, those stores. And I saw a cop named Brandon Bork had somebody pulled over on the side of the road right there in the parking lot. And so I pulled in and I began to film Brendan Bork conducting this traffic stop. Mr. Bork exited the cop car when he saw me, walked up to me and said, "I don't care if you film, but go stand over there. You have to back up," is what he said. So what I did is I took a couple steps back and I stepped one step to my west or my east. So I backed up a couple steps when that happened, and then he said, "No, back up more." And I said, "I have to inform you, sir, I'm a constitutional law scholar. I have every right to be here." And then he said, "Okay, you're being detained." And I said, "I'm being detained for what?" And then he immediately went hands-on, tried to grab me, arrested me, and then I spent 4 months in a Clark County dungeon because the judge was previously married to a cop and they put me in a dungeon. That was almost 3 years ago exactly, on March 15th, 2023. Monday is federal trial against the cop Bork, against 5 other cops. I believe they're Doolittle, Sandoval, Sorensen, and Torrey. So it's 5 cops total that I know off the top of my head. I'm suing those 5 cops. Now, here's the very important part of this federal civil rights lawsuit. This is a U.S. Code 42, 1983, and 1984 lawsuit that I filed 3 years ago. Now we're finally going to trial on Monday, and here's what that means. So because I had a criminal trial and I was convicted and then my conviction was overturned on appeal, what that means is that the transcripts of that appeal trial, because it was trial de nuevo, meaning the entire trial was heard again. Here at district court, if we lose here, then we go to circuit court. That will not be trial de nuevo. If we have to go and appeal at the Ninth Circuit, which is Alaska, Hawaii, California, Washington, Oregon, and Nevada. Those 6 states are the Ninth Circuit. If we lose here, then we appeal to circuit court. The filing fee is now $605 instead of $405 at district court. However, because we had a criminal trial already, we already had that trial, I lost the initial criminal trial because there was only one judge and she was married to a cop and she ruled against me and put me in a dungeon. But now what we're looking at is we're going to federal trial on Monday, and let me explain to you what the implications of this trial are. If they don't uphold my claims of wrongful arrest for my First Amendment right, that would mean that the law of the land is that if you film police, you can be arrested and it's not a First Amendment violation. That's how heavy the implications for this case are. It would be DeCastro versus LVMPD. It was determined that you cannot film police, be arrested wrongfully, have your conviction overturned on appeal, the judge releases you on First Amendment grounds, then the federal court says, "Nope, we're not gonna substantiate any of your claims. We're gonna dismiss this for failure to state a claim, or we adjudicated this and we found that you were guilty of obstruction, even though the criminal case was already tried twice and I'm not guilty of obstruction." This case at federal trial on Monday has gigantic implications for every single person who films cops in America, because this case will First Amendment when violated if there is accountability for that. It's gigantic. So on the flip side of this, if I have this trial on Monday and I win, then it says to every single cop in the state of Nevada and federally around the country that DeCastro versus LVMPD says that you cannot arrest a journalist without having accountability for what you have done. And that's why this case is such a gigantic case. You guys double tap the screen, hit the like button. There's only 46 likes. There's only a few hundred people. But I don't, listen, federal trials on Monday here in Clark County. So if you're in the Clark County, Las Vegas area, you should come. 8:30 a.m. on Monday, we'll begin to do jury seating. So that'll happen on Monday. And you guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I see the Vigilant Committee. What's going on, Playboy? Katie, what's going on? How are you guys? It's here in Las Vegas, and it's just, woof, it is dry. Your mouth dries out really quick here. But so now I have a GoFundMe. Please go to the GoFundMe, contribute 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks, because this, what the federal court is it's a money game. They try to outspend you and drown you in the costs of your federal trial. So I have a GoFundMe. It's gofundme.com/f/delete Lawz, just like the channel is spelled. If you're so inclined, please donate a couple bucks. I really appreciate your support. You can support me the most by hitting the subscribe button, double tap, and hitting the like button. That would help me the most. I really appreciate your support. And we don't stop. Now, I'm sorry I haven't been going live for this past week because I've just been inundated with getting the questions for the cops, getting the cross-examination, making sure that my testimony is correct. And make no mistake about it, on Monday, February 9th, here in Clark County, Nevada, the Constitution is on trial. The First Amendment is on trial on Monday. That's an absolute fact. And it's so funny because I see so many First Amendment auditors, right? I see so many activists who have not said a single solitary word about what's happening here on Monday. And you know what? That's fine. I'll just continue to do what I do. People who I have loved and supported and taken care of have not said a single solitary word, which is just, you know, it is what it is. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to keep on freedom fighting. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm supposed to do. And when these people go to trial for their federal trials, I'll cover it. I'll cover it because it's not about me and it's not about you. It's about us. It's about our constitutional rights and standing and fighting for our constitutional rights. That's what this is really about. It's about fighting for our rights. That's what I'm doing. I'm freedom fighting in Nevada right now. This is a fight for our constitutional rights on Monday. If they rule against me on Monday, if this federal judge rules against me on Monday, the Constitution in Nevada is dead, and even across the country, even in the Ninth Circuit. If they say that the cops can arrest me for simply filming from a public space in the middle of the day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if the cops are allowed to arrest me, take me to a dungeon, strip search me, do all the things they did to me, if this case loses on Monday, then it goes across the country that you can film cops and they can arrest you, wrongfully incarcerate you, put you in a dungeon for months on end, and there's no accountability. That our constitutional rights don't mean dick squat, nothing. That you have a First Amendment right to be pressed. You have a First Amendment right to assemble. But that doesn't mean anything in the new world order that's 1984 Orwellian. That your constitutional rights don't mean bupkis. That's what this case on Monday means. This is a gigantic case. People don't really understand. And as I was driving here and prepping with my attorney for the last few days, writing questions, determining what questions we would ask, what questions we wouldn't ask, you know, what my demeanor would be like, how I would answer certain questions. As we're going through all of these things, what's always resounding in the back of my mind is that this case is much bigger than me. This case sets a precedent for all First Amendment auditors. For every single person who films cops, DeCastro versus LVMPD at federal court on Monday sets a precedent that can strip away your rights. It's a gigantic case, and the fact that there's so many people whose videos I've covered and literally helped raise them thousands of dollars. When it boils down to it, you got to fight. You got to get your crowd together, the people that are here. You got to raise enough money to fight your fight. It's always up to you. You have to fight. A lot of people email me and say, Chille, will you help me? Hey, can you help me? And often the first question I ask is, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go? Are you willing to take the fight all the way? Because going to federal court here has cost me thousands and thousands of bucks, hundreds of hours of motions and filings, and constantly collaboration with your representation. And you have no idea. And so far, what I've got for it is I've lost at least $750,000 in revenue from my AdSense and from my online store, because I stood up and I said, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to stand my feet here, and you will not move me from my position here. You can forget it. I'm not moving my feet from this place right here. I stepped back. I can't step back any further and keep filming you. I won't be able to see or hear what you're doing. And the wind was blowing on that day, and I have to be able to see and hear what the cop is saying. As you know, a lot of cops are just pulling out their magic stick and saying, hey, suck on this, and I'll let you go. We're seeing it on camera. We're seeing it happen. So you can't kick me so far back, more than 8 or 10 feet, or I can't do my job effectively. A cop will often say, this is my stop. This is my scene. Let me reply, this is my scene, Jack. You're a part of the scene. I'm filming you as the objective observer, as a member of the press. And this case on Monday has absolutely gigantic implications. Absolutely huge. If I lose this case on Monday, it says federally across the country that you can arrest First Amendment auditors, that you can arrest journalists, you can cage them, put them in jail. And by the way, when you see the video that came out this morning, you can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear me saying to, I don't know if I've released Tori's, I don't know, I'll release Tori's today. I'll release the other body camera footage of Tori today, where I sit there between the 5-minute and the 9-minute mark, and I say to him, hey, look, let's put our guns down. Let's de-escalate this, and let's make this a teaching moment, and I'll come into the PD. I don't want to sue you. I don't want to go through this with you. I want you to uncuff me now and release me, and we can both let our egos go down here. I'm not going to sue you guys. We can make this a teaching moment, and we can educate one another, and we can bring the public and the police closer together, because right now the relationship between the public and the police in general is really bad. And Sergeant Tori wasn't interested in that. He wasn't interested in that. Instead, he arrested me, took me to a dungeon where they strip searched me and looked up my backside for me holding a camera and filming a cop. Someone put the GoFundMe in there. We got to raise a few more bucks. We got to raise a few more bucks. We have to raise more money. You guys don't understand. It's a fight, and what they try to do is bury you in your costs. That's what they're trying to do to me now. They're trying to bury me financially is what they're doing. And that's why I'm here, standing here in front of you now, showing you I'm in front of my attorney's office right this minute, right this second, right here in front of my attorney's office. We have a meeting today for the next, he's going to be here in 15 minutes. We have a meeting today from this time until we close at 6 p.m. today. And that's because my attorney has 2 young children under 5 years old, likes to get home and, be with his kids after 6 o'clock. But we'll be working from about noon today until 6 p.m. straight, just hitting back and forth, hitting back and forth, hitting back and forth. This is the office I have to go into to fight. This has implications that are far bigger than me. Love me or hate me, judge me or don't. The truth is that if I lose this case, it says that you can be arrested for filming a cop and there'll be no accountability for it. That nothing will happen to the police for wrongfully cuffing you, wrongfully taking you to a dungeon, wrongfully chaining you up. I had to bail out of that dungeon. It cost me $1,100 to bail out that day. And I've lost, you guys can't even imagine. You can't even imagine. You can't even imagine what I've lost from this happening. All I was doing was filming a cop. That's it. That's all I was doing. I was just filming a cop. That's it. I wasn't doing anything wrong. So yeah, that court is on Monday at the Lloyd D. George Federal Building here in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're going to come, jury selection starts at 8:30. Yeah, you can come late or you can come early. You don't have to be there right on time. It's going to be all day on Monday, Tuesday, and likely Wednesday. Hopefully on Wednesday we get a decision. We have our questions ready to go for the coppers. I'll release Tori's body camera. I released a long 51-minute version today. I'll release Tori's body camera in the next 15, 20 minutes as soon as I get off this live stream. But if you could, go to my GoFundMe right now and throw in a few bucks. It's gofundme.com/F/delete Lawz. That's the whole thing. It's so easy to do. GoFundMe.com/F/delete Lawz. because what they want to do is they want me to run out of money. That's what they want. They want me not to be able to fight back is what they want. That's why we have to crowdfund activists, which I have done, which you guys know. Put a 1 in the chat if you know me, and you know I have crowdfunded over almost 24 activists. I have crowdfunded personally, bailed out of jail, paid people's bills, paid their car note, paid their mortgage, paid their electric bill. Team DLZ, we have done this on this channel for almost 24 people. Not quite, we're at 22 people. I have a list of everybody, 22 people, that we have paid when they were in jail, sent money on their books, on their commissary. And now I need you to reciprocate and come back and help me out right now, because it is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, and this is going to change. I'm not going to have to stand here and e-beg after this next month, because we have a technology coming out that makes it so that there's already money in a kitty to get people out of jail, to help them with the little costs when they're going through federal court, like traveling, lodging, food, dog care. You have to have someone watch your dog when you're in federal court. Did you know that? You don't even think about it. You don't even think about what that cost is. But when I'm in federal court Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I got a little dog. The dog has to be watched by somebody, right? There's a little cost here, a little cost there, a little cost here. And you just get death by 1,000 slices. And these federal operators, these lawyers who are representing the interest of the state here, they don't have those, because they have an endless supply of money to fight you, because they don't want your constitutional rights respected. They don't want your First Amendment to be a thing. Where you think you're the press, you're not the press. Why? Because we decided you're not the press. We arrested you. We put you in a dungeon. You spent months in there. Your reputation took a hit. Your finances took a hit. Your store took a hit. And we've laid it out. We have it absolutely laid out. We have it absolutely laid out. So, yeah. Oh, yeah? Dude, thanks for coming by the channel. I really appreciate it. God bless you, sir. Super appreciate you. Thanks for coming by the channel, everybody. Hit the like button, double tap, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I feel like, oh, what's going on, Prince Vague? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming by the channel. Really appreciate you coming by the channel. God bless you guys, man. Thank you for coming by. Keep dropping comments. I really appreciate it. Keep dropping comments. My dog's good, man. My dog's good. My mouth's just dry because I'm in Las Vegas and it's so dry here all the time. So dry here all the time. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. Listen, I'm going to go live on Instagram for a little bit today. I'm going to do that now. So, yeah, this case on Monday has absolutely gigantic implications. It literally means that if they let these cops get away with wrongfully arresting me, wrongfully caging me, if they let these cops get away with wrongfully torturing me, squeezing my arm, hitting me in the testicles when I was already in chains, if this goes bad and the judge and the jury rules against me, then this has implications that spread all across the First Amendment community. Every single person who films a cop, it'll work against them now. They'll be able to say, oh yeah, we can arrest them and get away with it. That's what this case means. It's not small. It's not small. You know, and I'm going in front of a federal judge. So the mistakes I made my first case here, the criminal case, I'm not going to make those same mistakes again. And we're prepping for that now. We're prepping for that now. Thanks for coming by the channel, brother. I really appreciate it. Keep dropping comments as many as you can. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming by the channel. It's a Z on the end of it, Chille. There's no S, it's a Z. Delete GoFundMe.com. You got it right, Chille, except for there's a Z on the end of it. There is a Z on the end of that thing. Small Miracle Garages, I see you in there, buddy. Thanks, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I am prepared to lose. 100%. So why am I prepared to lose? Because I know how it works. In the 1958 case of Kent versus Dulles, the guy's name was Rockwell Kent in 1958. And the case of Kent versus Dulles is about whether or not the passport administration, passport office can deny you getting your passport. Well, Kent Rockwell was a very famous painter. He primarily traveled to Alaska and Greenland to paint canvases, and then he would sell those paintings for, he was a very successful guy, Rockwell Kent. So Rockwell Kent went to go get his passport somewhere around 1954. And when he went to the passport administration office to get his passport, they denied him his passport and said that he had ties to communists. Now, even though Kent Rockwell was a registered independent, they still said that he was tied to the Communist Party. So when they denied him his passport, he sued in district court. Because, of course, you have a First Amendment right to travel. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, according to the Declaration of Independence. And you have a right to travel in your First Amendment in the U.S. Constitution. So Kent Rockwell took his case to district court and said, they're denying me my passport. He lost in district court. Kent then appealed his case to the circuit court. When he went to circuit court, he presented, hey, I'm a registered independent. I'm not a communist. They're just saying I have communist ties, but I want my passport. When he went to circuit court, a panel of judges from multiple states across the country, they ruled against Kent Rockwell. So do I expect to lose? Yes, I do. I expect to lose in district court and win in circuit court. I don't think it'll go past circuit court, but Rockwell Kent lost in circuit court again. Rockwell Kent, then being the patriot that he is, he filed for certiorari with the United States Supreme Court. And in 1958, in a 5-4 decision, Rockwell Kent finally won his case. That's resolve, because we don't stop. Put it in the comment section. We don't stop. If Kent Rockwell had lost his case, then it would have been a national federal policy that now slightly warps the Constitution to say that the passport administration can simply revoke your right to have a passport if X, Y, or Z is present. So if they had taken Rockwell Kent's passport and he hadn't fought for 4 years to get to the United States Supreme Court, then it would be standard policy that the passport office can revoke you or deny you getting your passport. And then, can you imagine, once they take a little bit of our rights, they take more and they take more and they take more. Rockwell Kent losing his case would have meant that this administration could simply say, we're going to revoke your passport rights. And if they allow you to have your passport rights restricted because they say you're a communist in 1958, well, then they could say, well, we're going to restrict your passport if you're a felon. We're going to restrict your passport if you owe back taxes. We're going to restrict your passport if your dog only has 3 legs. Once the government gets into your rights, they just keep taking and taking and taking. We know that from Carroll versus United States, 1925. The automobile exclusionary rules where they can search your car without a warrant. Now they've applied that to your house, your person, your property, your effects, everything. Your Fourth Amendment is completely gone in this country. Now the 2026 case of Montana versus Case says that they can now go into your house for a welfare check without a warrant if they need to check on your safety. And that's 2026 Montana versus Case. I have the original footage of that entire case. I have Mr. Case's original footage, and I'm going to show it on this channel. I got to be in a place where I'm not e-begging here to make sure I have enough money to keep fighting this federal case. It's a son of a bitch. Yeah, you know, yeah. I'm going to keep being me. No matter what happens, I'm going to keep doing what we do on this channel. Is we fight for our rights on this channel, and we help other people whose civil rights are violated on camera, and it's a cop or a government official. So I'm going to keep doing what I do. And I'm only going to recognize how many people have helped along this journey, and I want to say thank you to those people. Where's my man Chevy? Chevy in the chat. Thanks for the super chat, Chevy. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Captain Team DLZ, Steve Conkler's in the chat. Thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You guys go to my GoFundMe. It's gofundme.com/F/delete Lawz with a Z. Delete Lawz with a Z. www.gofundme.com/F/delete Lawz with a Z on the end of that bad chicken. If you would, please. Thanks, Captain. Appreciate that. I got a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Black North showing some support. Black North twice. Thank you. I'm just seeing these bad chickens. Fred Wagner. Thank you so much. Fred, I'll check for your super chat. Fred sends super chats through Cash App or PayPal. I can't remember which one. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming by the channel, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming by. Keep dropping more comments. It helps the algorithm. I really appreciate you guys dropping as many comments as you can. Thrasher, good to see you. CEO of My Time. No, I prefer if you go to the GoFundMe, CEO of My Time. Yeah, CEO of My Time. You prefer GoFundMe or YouTube? Definitely GoFundMe, 100%, because they take 30% of the money from YouTube right off the top. And thank you for any support you can offer. If you can just super chat, I'll take that too. I appreciate it. It really matters. It really, really matters. Rat Rules is in here. Good to see you. Nick Tate is in here. What's going on? Good to see everybody. Thank you so much, Fred Wagner. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you. Thank you, Steve Conkler. I appreciate that. Remember, Steve, we have a Friday I think it's Friday the 13th, and we'll just leave it at that. Friday the 13th, the horror movie, Steve Conkler. Friday the 13th, the horror movie. And we're going to leave it at that and nothing else. We'll keep it real quiet. What's the matter, you? Good to see you. All right, listen, I've got 10 minutes before my attorney gets here. Vigilance Committee, good to see you. You guys hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you. I got 15 minutes before my attorney gets here. So I'm going to go live on Instagram. If you want to join me on Instagram, please join me on Instagram. Delete Lawz on Instagram. I'm going to go live there right now. Thank you guys for coming. I only saw Chevy in the beginning. I don't know where my man is here. Amicus, nice to see you, my friend. BS Unleashed. Thank you. BS Unleashed, I got your donation today. I got your donation. Thank you, BS Unleashed, for contributing. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Maxim, we don't stop. All right, I got to go live on Instagram for a few minutes. I'll see you on the next one. Tony, I want to read that before I go, though. Tony, sweet dog. Absolutely nothing wrong with donating to this important work and the people brave enough to do it. Thank you so much, Tony, sweet. I really appreciate it, man. Listen, and I said it on Instagram already. If you guys are not watching my Instagram, you should. I'm going to take a chunk of the money we win, and I'm going to have a party in Vegas. I've said it before. The first lawsuit that we win, we're having a party, and I'm inviting all of Team DLZ so we can get together. Team DLZ, put it in the chat. Team DLZ, put it in the chat. I'm having a party in Vegas when we win. That's what's happening. We're going to have a party. I'm not going to waste too much of the money on frivolous stuff, but it's not frivolous to get together with all the people who I've known over the last few years and try to get everybody in the same place so we can just say hi to each other. All right, listen, I got to get the flock out of here. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. Monday, federal trial here, Clark County. Donate if you can. Be here if you can. I really appreciate your support. And to the supporters, I love you guys. You guys make it possible for me to fight, and I'm so grateful. So I will see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators. Fortnite Clips, I see you.